Wow, that was a good one. Hey, everybody, it's Bass and Brews. Happy Friday, Sunday, whatever fucking day or time you listen to this. We're your weekly distraction from high-quality podcasts. You guys already know the deal. We've got Drew Turner on. Drew Turner is a fan favorite, but more importantly, a Paul and Alex favorite, and that's why he's here. The only problem with having Drew on is we instantly lose 2 listens because Drew's not going to listen to the show that he's on, and there's no way his brother's going to listen to his brother be funnier than him. So it's like an instant loss of 2 listeners right out the gate. But
I disagree with that. I feel like Chris is going to listen just to actually take a notepad out and write notes on shit to pick on Drew about. And then they're going to get in a brotherly love fight out in the front yard, and Chris is going to whoop his ass.
He doesn't need notes, by the way. He doesn't need notes for stuff to mess with me with. He's just going to do it. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what I say on this show. I'm going to be wrong about something, or I'm going to get something wrong in a story I tell. It's not going to matter. Now,
that's true. Hey, Paul, before we get started.
That may happen.
Paul, disconnect your Bluetooth, because when you left to go to the bathroom before we started, we heard your pulled pork TikTok videos playing. So make sure that's disconnected.
I turned it off. It's fine.
It was yours.
As long as I don't open TikTok or anything, it might be good. Drew, I just sent you a text. You need to look at it.
He said, get closer to the mic. He tried to be slick about it. Let's hear. Go ahead. Talk. Let's see if it's louder.
Talk. This is loud as it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Up too. I got it turned up on the mixer.
Well, hopefully, StreamYard will even all the shit out during the recording, because neither Alex nor me would know any way to fix that shit, because we're lucky that we can start this podcast and make it record and put it out.
Hey, but maybe we would learn that if, maybe me or Paul will take a course on podcast editing. But the only way that's going to happen is if you want to support the show over at patreon.com/Bass and Brews. Again, it'll help support the show. We do have some new things coming around, and you've only got a couple weeks left to get that OG price also. And Patreon members it's the only way to get the exclusive Last Call with Alex and Paul live show. So I think
Speaking of that,
yeah.
I got us a new Patreon subscriber today. And
who's that?
I'll give you 3 guesses on who it is.
Sarah.
3 real guesses on who. Hell no. My wife would never. She don't listen to the free one. She damn sure ain't paying no money.
Russ Snyder's.
Nope.
Mike Iaconelli.
Nope. You're way too famous.
Way too famous.
Think degenerate. Early degenerate of the podcast.
The historian of Bass and Brews, Tori.
No. She used all of her 401k to buy her kayak.
That's true.
Steve-O.
Oh, no
Scuba
shit.
Steve.
Hey. He's going to be a menace on that live show.
Yep. And he also said to tell you, Alex, to go fuck yourself.
Oh, that makes sense. That tracks well. I hope that we have Scuba back on and he can eat popcorn and fall asleep on an episode, because it's kind of what he's world famous for.
He did not fall asleep on our episode, but he has definitely eaten fucking popcorn on an episode of Bass and Brews. And if there's anything worse than listening to a podcast or anything on social media, is listening to somebody eat while you record.
Gross. It's gross.
I know.
You should never hear someone eat. If someone's eating loud enough for you to hear them, like, that's a problem. They don't get invited over anymore.
Hey, 100%. Tell me this, Drew. I don't think you're on the TikTok much at all. But Alex, you tell me, have the ASMR videos started popping up where people are like eating and dressing up and doing stupid shit on your FYP recently?
Nope.
Oh my God. This past week, I started getting the ASMR people popping back up on my FYP, and it is, but they're not calling it ASMR anymore. They're calling it NPC, and I have no idea what the fuck it stands for, but it's the dumb shit where people dress up like weirdos and do the.
So fucking weird. I mean, yeah, it's fucking weird. I fucking love the internet sometimes, and I hate them. Right now, my FYP is full of Hawk Tui girl and a little bit of fishing, so everything is right in the world. Because Hawk Tui is, there's some revelations that came out about her the last 2 days. She did not get fired from her job. She was not a teacher.
Yep.
She was manufacturing springs, and now she's not doing that. She's dropped out of college like 4 times. She sounds like we should try to get her on Bass and Bruce. She sounds like a Brewski.
Yep. Her dad is not a preacher. She said he's the farthest thing from it. So yeah, it really opened our eyes to what kind of craziness is out there and how fun it can be.
Yeah, she's made like $65K on merch already, which is fucking phenomenal. Like, you go from being 21 working at a spring factory to making $65K for talking about spitting on a wiener. That's just the American dream right there.
So she knows about spitting on ding dongs and which part of the bed is the best one to be on.
Did she say that?
I don't know. Anytime anybody says they make springs, I always think they're making bed springs.
Oh.
Are there even springs in beds anymore?
Only if you're a fucking peasant and can't afford,
Damn Neanderthal.
Fucking peasants. Oh, people love it when we call them peasants. I realize that people fucking hate that. But like the people who actually are like fun at parties and know how to have a good time. But like back to the Jet Ski Chronicles, because I just started responding back on YouTube calling everybody who said something mean a peasant. And that also fucking triggered them really bad. Like, how the fuck am I a peasant if I'm in a jet ski and you're in a piece of shit plastic boat? So if you want to piss somebody off on the internet, just call a peasant.
I will say this. I did record a fish magic video this past week that I need to send you if I can find it. Yeah, during the tournament. During the tournament, I did it. But it was not with the 6-pounder I caught during the tournament. I just let that one go.
If you guys want it done, it's really easy. Here's what you do. You just reverse it. That's it. You just got to reverse it. And it's all about figuring out the when you wiggle your fingers to look like you're calling it in. But I'm going to tell you what, if you want heat for no reason, do that. People get real butthurt that you're not an actual fish wizard.
Look, maybe it's
I'm looking up reviews to see if we got it.
But I'm fucking lost on everything you guys have been talking about for the last 5 minutes.
Well, because you FMPs, have just
FTCs, fucking fish whatever. I don't know. Only thing I know is the Hawk Tui girl. Yeah. That's it. That's the only thing I know.
Well,
you guys
you have just dropped the fishing world and all of us and been like, oh my God, now, geez, look at his bald head.
Look at that. Look at that.
I knew we were going to be off topic today, but I didn't think we were going to talk about cue balls. That's good.
Look, it's
bass
nice,
and
though.
Billiards.
It's nice.
It's nicely shaped.
It is. I have a shapely.
When you and Jess like have some alone time, do you astroglide the top of your like head on top of your shoulders?
No, but I do make sure if I think I'm gonna get me some, I'll shave that night in the shower, just in case, But it's not an Astroglide. I'll use old school Armani. What is it? The Aqua de Giorno, and I put that shit on there.
Dude, I'm telling you, you should rub.
Weird.
I bet if you used Astroglide as a post shave topical, I bet it would feel way better. Sprinkle some aloe vera in there too, so you get that cool.
We're gonna get back to that, but there's something. Alex has something here. I brought back a core memory from high school or something.
No, I'm just picturing Drew astroglides himself up, And he does it in the bathroom, and he's like, all right, here it comes. And he tries to do that, like, ooh, I'm going to sneak into the bedroom. I'm going to tick her little toes, and then I'm going to dive right between them legs. But you're so slippery at that point, it's like instantly like the Flash. There's just a streak of fucking fire. Drew's now in Oklahoma and not stopping, just flying through the air the whole time going, fuck you, Paul, too much speed.
The real definition of a speedball.
That would be a very terrible idea. As much as I sweat, if I put anything on top of this that isn't going to absorb, I am going to just start flooding with sweat. That's why I already had to take the hat off, because I'm already getting hot.
Well, you are in Texas, where it is somewhere between 100 degrees and overcooking something in the oven.
Yeah, it was terrible yesterday when I was on the water. I got off the water at 10:30. Like, I was done. It was 100 degrees at 10:30, and I was done. The marsh started to boil. Like, I could have cooked some pasta out there. Like, I was done. If you're not on the water at like 5:45 and off by 10:30, you're screwed. By 11 o'clock, your soft plastics are melting. Like, it is terrible in June, July, and August.
Well, speaking of this, are you preparing for Beryl to come up and hit you? Because it's got a couple spaghetti models showing it coming up there in your neck of the woods.
Nah, it's gonna stay south. It won't be too bad for us up here in Conroe. I'm still 2 hours from the coast. Even when it's a direct hit, we may lose power for a couple days, but other than that, it's never too bad. Ike was pretty bad, and then Harvey was pretty bad too.
You mean Ike and Ellie, right?
Yeah. And Harvey Weinstein.
We were without power for 9 days. I think that was really, that sucked. That was terrible. My son was conceived during Ike too, so there's that.
We had nothing else to do. There was like no TV, no distractions, just you, Jess, and a bucket of Astroglide. And you were fucking lubed and ready to go.
I didn't need Astroglide then. It was fucking June, like just sweating. I'm already lubed up, naturally lubed.
You smell like that's vegetable soup sex right there. You know how nasty people that don't wear deodorant, they smell like vegetable soup cooking in your house.
I've never smelled someone and went, damn, that smells like vegetable soup. That is not anything with
dude. You're gonna be looking
ever
for
been
it
around me.
You're gonna be looking for it now. You're gonna smell and be like, does that smell like onions and carrots?
You must be from North Carolina. You smell like fucking vegetable soup.
Oh fuck, vegetable soup. That one got me.
You go spend 10, 12 hours out in a peach field and see what you smell like when you come in at the end of the day.
Well, let me ask. So, do you put green onions in your vegetable soup? Because usually people that stank, I'm like, you smell like fucking green onions and Fritos. Like that's the funk.
Yeah. Usually usually it's the garlic. It's the heavy garlic eaters that will have the body odor, but they're also the ones that don't have to worry about sand fleas, gnats, or mosquitoes.
See, in South Jersey, everybody just kind of smells like a lot of garlic anyway, so maybe I'm immune to it. But I put green onions in fucking everything, so maybe I'm that stinky guy and I didn't know it. And you said Fritos. I love Fritos, but there's something about Fritos that will never, like, my kid eats them and then she'll get in my face and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You fucking smell. Go fucking brush your teeth, because that is disgusting. But they're delicious.
I cooked a bunch of bacon last week, and when I cook the bacon, I leave the skin on and then I smoke it. Well, then when I go to cut the bacon slices, I slice the skin off the bottom of the pork belly. And I did like 25 pounds. Anyway, I had 5 smoked pork bellies, and I took the skin off and I fried up an ass load of damn pork skins, pork rinds. Down here, if you got the fat on it and the skin, we call it fatback. I fried up a ton of damn fatback. Well, fatback's delicious. It's crunchy, it's salty, is soft. It's got the fat and the skin.
It really helps your weight loss journey.
When you open up that container of fat back after it's been closed all night, you open it up to eat it in the morning, it smells like a wet fart between 500-pound ass cheeks, man. It is so delicious.
Is that like cracklings? Do you know what cracklings are?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The cracklings is the skin without the fat, and then pork rinds is the skin that's been fried, that puffs up and is nice and crunchy, chicharrones, and then fatback is the skin with a big old hunk of fat on it. So when you fry that up, it curls up into kind of like a half circle when it's ready for the most part. But when you bite into it, like you got to eat the skin, the fat first, because it's nice fried fat, and then you get the crunch from the skin.
Weight loss journey.
I don't know if you guys have ever been through Louisiana, but there's Dawn Specialty Meats and Scott, Louisiana, like that's like the boudin capital of the world and stuff. But they have really good cracklings. But Dawn's has chicken cracklings.
Yep.
So it's chicken skin with a little bit of chicken fat and then a little bit of chicken. I will hurt myself eating the chicken cracklings. Like I like regular cracklings, but the chicken cracklings, Jesus Christ, that is the best stuff. Just fried chicken skin with a little bit of fat and a little bit of chicken with their Louisiana seasonings on there. God damn.
When I buy a bunch of chicken, I'll usually buy, if I'm smoking it or whatever I'm doing, I'll buy quarters or thighs because they're the cheapest. And I'll debone and deskin all of that. And I'll take the bones. So most of the time I take the skin and the bones and the trimmings, and I put them in a bag and I save them. And that's what I cook my chicken stock with. But every now and again, I'll save all the skin and I'll put it in the fridge for a couple of days, let it dry out. Then I'll slice it and make chicken cracklings. And you're right. Chicken cracklings are something else delicious, boy.
Chicken skin's the best. Like I fight people over. I'll fight you over chicken skins, and if I'm smoking a turkey or something like that, or we're frying a turkey, I will fight you over the turkey skin.
So
me and my mom will go at it over the damn turkey skin.
So you're like Cartman in that episode of South Park where they got the chicken, but they had to like do chores or some bullshit before. And all the kids were doing chores, and Cartman was over there eating all the skin off of the KFC. And when everybody sat down, he done all the damn chicken skin, and it was just fucking naked chicken.
Yep.
God damn it, Cartman!
None of our kids like the skin, so me and Jess will fight over the skin on them whenever we cook, like, you know, chicken leg quarters or something like that. And one of the boys was like, what are you doing? Like, I like skin now. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. You've had 9 years to decide whether you like skin or not. It's over. Like, you
shit out of luck at that
unless
point.
You're the first one to get over here. Like, you're shit out of luck. I'm taking the skin. I cooked it. I bought it. You're out of luck, bro.
Drew's out there cooking the chicken, and as he's pulling it off the grill, he just picks the skin out and eats it, and then puts the chicken on the plate. So when the chicken comes in, I'm like, where the hell? What the hell?
1,000%. 1,000%. And then I'll put it back on the grill, where the skin used to be, so it looks like it never had any skin on there, and I take it in there and everybody else.
Oh shit! We've already delved far. This is why we have Drew on. We don't talk about fishing very often with Drew, I think, and it's what makes Bass and Brews great. I love having Drew on.
Well, he went fishing yesterday for the first time in like 6 months.
Yeah, that's been since February, man.
Yeah, I mean, he could fake it like I do, but he doesn't. He just owns it.
No, look. I turned 40 this year, and I'm not faking.
Me too.
Nothing. Like,
me too, man.
I am who I am. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm acting the way I want to act. I'm gonna do the things that I want to do, and if you don't like that, then we don't have to be friends.
Tell your wife that, and let's see what happens.
She knows by now. But I also know too. Like, I'm not going to ask her to change anything. That's why our relationship is good. Like, we have a strong relationship. I'm not asking her to change anything. She's not asking me. Like, we're not trying to fix anything that's broken. Just that, like, that's how it was when we got together. Why is it a problem now?
She's like, the only thing I ask is if you can wear the toupee a little more. Please just wear that toupee a little more, Drew.
Well, then I wouldn't like slide so quickly.
That's true. That's how you get that that thigh cannon action is with the Astro glided head.
So when she goes to grab Drew's head, she's got to grab his ears.
Just start pulling, yanking on him.
like a handlebar for a motorcycle.
I'll say this though, with the hair and everything, there is one thing, like, she won't let me change it all, and I can't shave. Like, she likes the beard. I shaved it once, and it was a verbal like, the fuck? Like that really came out of her mouth whenever she saw me after I'd shaved off my beard completely.
Because go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna
Finish
say,
your thought.
the only reason though that I shaved my beard completely off is I usually do my own beard. Like I cut it, I trim it, I do everything because I cut the kids' hair and everything else. Well, I went to a barber shop and I should have known the place was called like something cuts, and it was CUTZZ.
Oh,
like
it's
I
got
should
the
have
Z.
known I shouldn't have been in that place. Well, when they did my beard, I'm not joking. Some of your people won't get this, but I looked like John B. It was like a pencil thin all the way down. They cut off half of my mustache. I looked like I was about to be an extra on Three Musketeers. Like, it looked terrible. So I had to just start completely over. Like, it was the worst my face has ever looked in my life.
Well, I mean, if you shaved your beard and your eyebrows at the same time along with your slick head, you would look like a pecker on top of shoulders.
Yeah, that or Ghost. Y'all remember that? Or not Ghost.
Powder.
What was
Powder.
the movie?
Powder.
I have called
actually
somebody Powder on this podcast before. I can't remember who it was.
That was actually shot like 45 minutes from my hometown. Like, it was shot in Wharton, Texas, is where Powder was shot.
Hey, did y'all ever watch shit? What was the HBO? Or no, it was Cinemax.
The porn? Yeah,
I mean,
that's the only thing I've seen on
Cinemax.
Cinemax.
No, it was in black and
It was
white or fuzzy, and there was lines going across it.
It was a no. It
Dude,
was a
those
show.
lines
So
those lines would go,
Homelander.
and you'd be like, oh shit, I saw it. I think that was a nipple. That was totally a nipple.
Yeah. It was it. So the guy who plays Homelander, damn, I can't remember the show. He was anyway. It was on Cinemax. The guy who played Homelander was on there, and when he went to prison, it was. So I'm going to try to make this point, and the younger people won't know this because they probably don't know who the fuck Powder is.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about either.
If you watch this show,
shit, right?
go back and look at it. I can't look at it on my phone.
Banshee.
Huh? Banshee, yes. All right. So on Banshee, when I'm going to call him Homelander because I can't remember his real name, he goes to prison and Powder's in prison and he kills Powder in prison because Powder didn't have powers anymore and he was in prison, but he was like ghost white, talcum powder white. And they got in a fight, and anyway, you have to go watch Banshee.
Man, what a fucking great story!
Together.
What a great story, Paul.
I know. If there's anything I'm good at, it's really fucking up a good story.
And it's funny because you started the episode so well, talking about people smelling like vegetable soup. Right? You've had so many good, like just your descriptions have been great, and then you just fucked this Banshee story up really bad.
Well, at least I don't look like you.
Okay, good call.
That was weak. I expected much
weak.
better.
He's tired. He's tired today. I can see it in his little face. His cheeks aren't as rosy.
I'm not going to try to compete with Drew and Alex. One of Drew's most listened to episodes was when I couldn't make it and Alex was on. And
hey, Drew,
I listened
to
that. Let me finish.
Drew,
I listened to that whole episode. Oh my gosh. Yes, it did better in my episode. It was the number one episode of 2023 for Drew. Anyway, I listened to that episode and I'm like, damn. And I texted John and said, y'all should do a podcast together.
Yeah. Well, that was the plan for 2024. It was supposed to be a big release.
And then Drew decided to fucking start pitching baseball and quit.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, the end of the year kegger 2023 was supposed to be the public firing of you and Drew taking over your spot, but he had other commitments, so we're stuck with you for another year. As per your contract, obviously, Paul.
Well, my contract is I show up when the fuck I want to show up, and when I don't show up, I don't.
I just feel like you always say you're the talent, right? That's what you tell everybody. But like, I went to somebody else's platform and knocked it out of the park better than you did. So I feel like that would mean I'm the talent. So now you need to start doing all the social media bullshit. And you start uploading by 2 a.m. All that's got to go on you now, I think, Paul.
My platform is Bass and Brews. This is where I excel. I do not excel on other podcast platforms. I excel on this one because our podcast is shit, and I excel on shitty podcasts.
Right. So one of us is holding the other one down. You're holding me down is kind of what it feels like.
I'm holding. If we like, we did
down.
We went to Armando's podcast, and I held you down on Armando's podcast, Bass Cock and Beers, and that should be releasing tomorrow, I think.
Actually, released 3 days ago.
Oh, did it? Okay. Yep. So y'all need to go back and listen to Bass Cock and Beers with Alex and I on here. But I lift you up on Bass and Brews because you aren't dumb enough to bring Bass and Brews up. I am.
I do too much highbrow.
You missed a golden opportunity there, Jabberhammer. You should have said, I lift you up on Bass and Brews because I just have to lift you up because you're fucking short. Like,
See?
It was a softball for yourself.
It was.
Well, my balls are pretty soft. I hadn't shaved them in a while, so they're quite furry.
I mean, they should always be soft. If your balls are like, if your whole nether region is hard, you should probably talk to somebody.
You know, in the wintertime,
shave? Are you going like razor, pulling that out, or what?
No, I got way too many wrinkles on my balls to be putting anything with a blade that close to them. I do not want to castrate myself. They're small enough. I mean, nobody miss them, but I'm not. Like, I take the razor and I put a number 2 guard on it and I just go to town. So for the next week, it feels like I got Velcro on my nuts. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good
number
thing,
2, that seems kind of long still.
Yeah, I was going to say, I go 1. A nice 1.
Have y'all nicked a ball yet?
I have with the no guard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bo, look, nothing bleeds like a nick ball sack.
Yeah. When I got home from the boat,
one time,
I was going to surprise Amanda, and it was like a year of like just no work done downstairs. Right. So it was, I trimmed it up when I came home. So at that point, so it was like 6 months. I hadn't touched the thing. It was like a jungle. And I was like, I'm going to spice it up for when I get home. So I did a 0.5 everywhere, but then used a legit like face razor on the boys. And worst decision ever. One, she was like, that's weird. That looks like,
because it was patchy. There's no way you got it clean.
No, there wasn't, but she was just
like mangy dog balls.
She was like, it's like a high schooler, like you're just now getting your pubic hair and it's coming in. And then she was like, the other worst part is you won't get your hands out of your pants because my balls were so fucking itchy from shaving them that close.
Look, I tried to do a homemade waxing one time. But it wasn't with the it wasn't with the popsicle stick wax. It was the wax patch. And I committed to it.
Did you get a glue trap from the mouse?
Yeah, I got. God. That's what they should be marketed as.
Did that take?
None. I was sober. Let me tell you, I committed to it and tried my damn best. But I was talking about Alex looking mangy. It was one, it was not fun doing it yourself, and 2.
Did you ask Sarah?
No. I don't want her to look at my balls like that.
Was she like, hey, you know what would be sexy if you hot glue gunned your asshole for me tonight? Like,
I glued my balls to my butthole again.
She's like, Paul, you know what would be really great in bed? If you just took some rat traps from the fucking garage and just put them right on that taint and then pulled them out. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it was bad. I tell you, the worst part about it though is the creasier legs. That was the worst. Like pulling that out.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Pulling that out
torture.
made my eyes water worse than yanking out nostril hair.
Yeah. Well, with Drew, with you turning 40 this year, I turned 40 this year too in April. It's like we all got real old real quick.
But why does Drew have zero gray hair and Alex, your whole beard is gray?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to know what? I have hair though. Luscious long hair.
Just for men works for me.
Yeah, I don't use any of that. I'm still in this a year and a half out of the military, just exploring the different hair and facial hair accessories. Like I'm thinking about trimming soon, but I've already teased it to Amanda where I think I'm just gonna get
a soul patch.
A soul patch.
The soul
Please
patch.
Just do
Oh.
a soul patch, and you will look like you're in disguise all the time.
The soul patch is just a round circle on your chin.
So look like what's his name? Fred Durst is what you're saying. Like go with the Fred Durst. Like
the 1998 Fred Durst.
I could do the tiny two poles where you have a full beard but somehow shave only your mustache, which never makes fucking sense to me.
Like
tiny two poles.
Amish.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about keeping everything but just shaving my chin.
No, you should do handlebars connected to the mustache.
Yeah.
And then just the soul patch.
Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking about just making it bad for no reason other than I get to now. Like it's my job can't say anything because it's corporate and you can't say like, hey, you look like a fucking molester. Like they can't say that legally. So I just do whatever I want now. Like I see these kids come into work and they've got some fucked up just in general facial hair. And like I work in an office environment and, you know, the general dress code is business casual. And these fucks come in like super baggy sweats and a hoodie. And I'm like, cool. So we don't do that. We don't have to do business casual. Awesome.
Hey,
so I
Alex,
can have fucked up hair.
Since you got more gray in yours than I do,
way more.
But you know what I think would be phenomenal is if you went and got the silver hair dye and dyed your whole beard like silver.
Like the platinum, silver.
Yeah, like the platinum silver.
Yeah.
I mean, bright ass silver. Your whole beard, man. I think that would. I got to Google this real
phenomenal. Quick. I wonder if there's no way there's beard color of that.
Oh, there is. Yeah, for sure. That has midlife crisis written all over it though, like all over it. Like I went through my
the silver
crisis
fox
this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also lost like 50 pounds. So you started being able to see your pecker without lifting your stomach up, and that's pretty awesome.
Somebody followed through on their fucking weight loss journey, unlike others.
Well, he had to. He had some he had some he has some dookie. He has some dookie issues.
Ooh.
Right.
No, man, I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah.
March.
Tell that story as a PSA to folks listening that might be dealing with some GI issues. Tell the story so people won't do what you did and put it off for like months and months and months and months.
Yeah. So there's two stories that go with this. So the first one was when I had the polyps removed. So I think I told this last time, or maybe it was on. I think I told this last time, but I had the polyps removed, and I had one that was like the size of a thumb that was really causing a lot of GI issues, and like it was like 18 millimeters, and anything over 8 millimeters increases the risk for cancer by like 300%. So like I was scared that I had cancer bad. Well, then, I got that polyp removed and got everything done, and I didn't have too many issues. And then I had a diverticulitis flare up really, really bad in March, and I was like 12 hours away from having emergency surgery and having a colostomy bag.
Shit.
The surgeon came in and he's like, hey, if your fever doesn't break and this fever doesn't go away, your intestines can rupture and then you're really screwed. So if something doesn't happen in the next 12 hours, like we're going to have to do emergency surgery. And the way that works there is they go in, they take out the bad section of the colon. You have a shit bag, for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they come back and they reattach everything, and you lose that piece of your colon. If you guys know Brock Lesnar had the surgery, like he almost died and had the emergency surgery with that. So
it's what they do it's what they do with people with Crohn's is when they go in and start taking out intestines.
Yeah, because the diverticulitis, it's just you get a pocket in your colon, you get a pocket in your intestines, and then stuff gets in there, and then it gets infected, then it flames up and it bursts like a dang balloon, and then feces go into your body. Like that's and you can't. It's very hard to recover from that. But luckily, I did not have to have the surgery done. But I spent 3, almost 4 days in the hospital, had to completely change my diet. There's I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore at all. Like once a month I can have a steak. Like tomorrow, like last month I had a ribeye once. Like that's it. Didn't have any roast, can't have any beef jerky, nothing like that.
No bright leaf hot dogs. That sucks.
Yeah, no, hot dogs are okay because it's ground meats. You can have ground meats, and you can have sausages, and you can have like beef sticks, but you can't have like anything that's really, really hard to digest, like steak or like cut beef jerky like that. You're not supposed to have any corn, anything with cellulose, no cabbage, nothing that may come out looking the same as when it goes in.
Hold the fuck on. Yeah. You can't have no cabbage?
No cabbage, no lettuce.
I eat a head of cabbage a week.
That's why you smell as weird as you do.
Hey, I'll tell you this
though. Smell like vegetable soup.
Look, if you want to have a good ribeye more than once a week, it sounds like what you need to do is get Jess to chew it up real good and then spit it in your mouth like a fucking bird.
No, I'm not into that. Like that chewing stuff up and spitting it. That's all. You were talking about hot tua earlier. There's people like talking about spitting in each other's mouths and everything. Like I don't get that. I mean, that's probably a different podcast, but like I don't.
No. That's still this one. Yeah. As I changed your name here, we did miss out because if you would have kept going on, we could have done a podcast called Bags and Brews where we both drink beers, but yours goes directly into a colostomy bag. It would have been gold.
No.
We could have had a whole nother camera. We could have had another camera that was just on the bag.
Watch it fill up. Yeah.
And we could watch it fill up.
Look, I'm sorry to anybody that has a colostomy bag.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Will severely kill your sex life. Like there is nothing about a colostomy bag that my wife is going to be into at all. Like it's just it's not and it's sad. Look, this is very, very sad. Like I wasn't thinking when I was in the hospital, I wasn't like, damn, if I have a colostomy bag, like I'm gonna have to change it. I was like, if I get a colostomy bag, my wife is never gonna want to have sex with me again. Like that was my thought during this whole time. I'm like, please God, do not have a surgery.
Hold on, you got her hooked up from behind, and she's like, "Ooh, that's warm," and you're like, "Yeah, I know, that's my bag on your back."
Oh, that's disgusting. That is. So, more of the story is I'm not eating ribeyes anymore. Perfect. Like maybe once a month. I'm cooking brisket tomorrow, and like that's gonna be my little red meat for the month. I'm not messing with it. But
no more gas station burritos in the morning before you go fishing, huh?
I still do those, but I mean that's eggs and bacon and sausage and stuff like that. But I'm not getting a steak, egg, and burrito taco. How about that?
There you go. There you go.
But it's been so much better. Changing my diet and having the polyps and stuff removed, like it's been like 8-9 months before I felt like I had to shit myself on the way to the launch. Like I'm fantastic. I'm good.
Hell yeah.
Good. I went before I left. I'm fine.
But with all of that, you got to see a weight loss out of it. Like you, as much as we make fun of it because you're the one that actually coined the whole thing, you actually went through a weight loss journey, unlike other people on this show. Yeah. That's good.
I've lost about 15 pounds, so go fuck yourself, little short
There's no
bitch.
way you've said that for the last month and a half.
And I have, and I haven't lost any after that. But, look, things happen. Look, no, I haven't gained any of it back. But Right. You can't, it is what it is. I've done it before. Here's the problem. I've talked about it before, is that this podcast makes me drink excessively. And when I drink, I turn into the fucking cookie monster, except it's not cookies. It's just anything and everything that's cooked.
Cabbage. It's fucking
y'all got
cabbage.
Y'all got any of them French fried pork skins I can eat.
Paul's the only guy to get fat off too much vegetable soup. He's just eating it by the gallon.
Hey, if anybody likes cabbage or greens, any kind of leafy green, collards, cabbage, kale, anything like that, when you eat a bunch of those, boy,
smell like vegetable soup.
No, they don't make you smell like vegetable soup. But I'll tell you what kills me is cooked onions. If I eat onions that have been cooked like French onion soup, the last time I ate that, oh my word, I don't know what the fuck cooked onions do to me, but they do it. I mean, they run through me like, nobody business.
All right. Well, speaking of running through stuff, before we get too far into this,
hey, Drew hasn't played our new game either.
Oh, you haven't played Marry Fuck Kill? No, yeah, he has, hasn't he?
No, I haven't. Nope, I wasn't a part of that.
Oh my goodness. Answers. Perfect. So your options are
no, you don't, because we're gonna change it up.
Well, don't change it up. I got good.
I got you. I got a second round to this.
Give me two. Okay.
Yes. It's
give me
classic.
2, give me 5, give me double.
I hate that me and Paul. Like I was thinking the same fucking thing in my head. Give me fuel. Give me 5. Give me that one shot inside. Anyways, all right. The game is Marry, Fuck, Kill. If people don't know, it's a childhood game. I'm going to give him 3 options. He needs to marry one, fuck one, and then kill one. So your options are Bigfoot, aliens, or the Loch Ness.
Okay, so I'm screwing the aliens for sure.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that one right there. Right there. Perfectly. That one looks like it'll give you the good hawk tour. So I'm totally with the aliens. Mm-hmm. Now I'm killing Bigfoot.
What?
Oh yeah, no!
I'm killing
Are
Bigfoot.
You sure? Are you sure you're killing Bigfoot?
I'm positive. Bigfoot's got a badonkadonk, but it's hairy. Like I've been with some Latin chicks that were like that. Like it's not a good thing. Now I'm marrying Loch Ness, and here's why. Because I'm marrying Loch Ness because one, you're gonna live by the water. You're gonna be on a lake somewhere. You're gonna have a little.
Well, you're gonna be in the lake. You're gonna be in the lake.
No, we don't have to like sleep in the same bedroom. Like we can have one and the other.
I thought we were talking about good relationships. Okay.
We are, but if you're making me pick between Bigfoot, where you don't ever get to see another human being again, or a dang alien, where you're the only one of your kind around everybody, I'm picking the Loch Ness Monster. And the Loch Ness Monster is never going to be around, and you will not have to see her that often. So I'm marrying the Loch Ness Monster. I'm living by the lake.
I hope Jess doesn't listen to this, but she's fucking going to have questions.
Yeah, like she ain't gonna have questions about screwing an alien, but marrying the Loch Ness Monster.
Or Colossus gonna be back.
Yeah, that's what's gonna derail our marriage is marrying the Loch Ness Monster.
Drew comes back and he's like, "Jess, I was abducted." And she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." They put something in my butt though, and she's like, "You've got something in your butt, motherfucker!" I could see it. Instantly does not turn out right for you.
Look, Drew had all kinds of shit going up his butt last year, so he's all right with it.
Oh.
Like they knocked me out. I didn't even know what they put up there. I just woke up and they were like, "You're good."
When you had your colonoscopy, did you have the colonoscopy fart at the end where it was just like this?
They won't let you leave. Like I don't know if you've ever had one, but the nurses, they won't let you leave until you've passed a significant amount of gas.
Yep.
And the nurse was like, "Don't be shy. You just gotta let it go." And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna be shy. Like if I got to fart, I got to fart." So no, it was I mean, it wasn't a crazy amount. I guess
Was it a
your
leaky
normal
fart or was it
after
a dry fart?
Oh no, it was like a type of fart where it was like broke the seal and like you can imagine Hiroshima like that.
It's that sound in like Battleship, that movie when they fire their cannons. It's just like
yeah,
whoosh.
a torpedo.
All right. Well, since Drew is probably most famously known as a kayak podcaster, let's see how many fishing podcasts do you still listen to?
I don't listen to many podcasts anymore.
Okay.
I listen to you guys. I just listened to the last episode on the way to the launch. Most of my fishing podcast listening is on the way to fishing, and since I haven't fished very much, I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts. And
all right, we'll switch it up then.
Work has been crazy. Like
we'll switch it up.
Working so damn much.
All right, if you guys don't know, Drew and me randomly on an episode found out that we both have a weird shared love of professional wrestling. So
I'm out. See ya. Hey, text
fine.
me when you're done.
Hey, it's the same game, Marry, Fuck, Kill, but it's Gold Dust, Doink, or what was the little person?
Alex.
Hornswoggle?
There we go, Hornswoggle. There we go. Those are your three options.
China.
So if you guys don't know, I'm offering one, which was a man dressed in all gold, including his face. He played a very androgynous Hollywood type. That's Gold Dust. And then there was Doink, who was a killer clown, who I think became a killer later on once they swapped him out, or he died. I can't remember the documentary about him. And then Hornswoggle was a little person that eventually came out to be Vince McMahon's son. But yeah, those are your options.
Son, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm killing Doink.
Okay.
I'm killing Doink. That was not Doink at all. I'm killing Doink. I'm marrying Gold Dust.
Absolutely.
Gold Dust would keep it interesting, like very, very interesting with Gold Dust. And then I'm screwing the midget just because I've always wanted to have sex with a midget.
I gotcha. Hey, there used to be a strip club really close to the base in New Jersey when I first got stationed out here. Shout out to Volcanic Eruptions. But Bridget the Midget showed up there one day, and she was doing lunch shows. So we left work to go to lunch, and it was just to see Bridget the Midget, do strip teases, but also hand out chicken fingers that were way bigger than her real fingers. It was the weirdest thing, but it was such a good time. We went that night with Amanda, my wife, and her best friend, Bree, and it was a lot more wild, and that lady Bridget is a great performer.
I'm very curious as to what AI is going to pull from this episode to put as your little clips.
I can't wait.
There is nothing in the algorithm that says volcanic eruptions, chicken fingers, and strippers. There's nothing in the algorithm.
Thank goodness it does not add pictures to the AI generated.
Oh, clips. Like AI pictures? Yeah. Sometimes, since we've been using that service, which if anybody out there is running a podcast and listening to this, go check out opus.ai. It's amazing. It'll do all that shit for you, right? But sometimes I think as we're going through the episode, I'm like, come on, AI, pick up on that. Come on, pick up on this weird little thing that I saw happen. And it's still pretty good on not. But hopefully it picks up something. It's going to have no choice other than to pick up something weird on this episode.
Opus hurts my feelings because all of the clips. Well, I say this: Alex is the one that gets to look at all the clips and chooses the ones that we put out there.
I'll show you.
And they're almost all him and the guest. Hardly ever is it me. Yeah, and I feel like that means because however AI works,
AI knows who the talent is.
Well, how AI works is pulling the stuff that it feels like will go viral or that people want to listen to, and it's never me. This man just took a whole swig of vodka right out of the jar.
No, that was that.
This is watermelon cucumber margarita.
Dude, that
from
sounds
Flybird, and this is
amazing.
Delicious. and I am about to be toasted because I've drank this whole bottle.
Amazing. I'm actually going to look for that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have it here. That sounds way too Texas for New Jersey. Watermelon.
He drank that whole bottle. He's definitely going to be putting KY on the wrong head or Astroglide on the wrong head tonight.
It's 15% alcohol too.
That's not bad.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I realized
I pre-gamed though with Liquid IV earlier because I knew I'm gonna be hurt tomorrow.
That's a smart man.
It's funny. I didn't even tell Jess what podcast I'm going on. She saw me drinking. And she's like, "What are you doing?" Because I don't drink very often. Like the last time I drank was the end of the year kegger.
Oh my God, you are definitely going to be hammered tonight.
Oh, 100%. And she was like, "Did you get that for you?" When I came back, I said, "Yeah, I'm going on podcast tonight." She goes, "Oh, you're going on Bass and Brews?"
Yeah,
actually, yes, I am. Like she already knew.
Hey, listen, anybody who wants to be a guest on the show, Drew just dropped some great tips there, and it's called Hydrate Beforehand. Liquid IV, Death Dust, whatever your favorite little powdered electrolyte is. It's a great idea. Honestly, I got to remember that sometimes. There's definitely been some episodes in 2024 where I am completely inebriated by the end of it, and I probably could have used a little more electrolytes at the beginning, but that's a great idea. If Bass and Brews ever came up with a signature cocktail, it'd have to be like something with a lot of alcohol, but then also electrolytes. Like it'd have to be like Liquid IV and like whiskey or some shit like that.
You would have to call it vegetable soup. And then you have to have some cabbage or some cabbage, bone broth.
It's got bone broth, whiskey, Liquid IV, and it's garnished with a slice of pickled cabbage.
Hey, I could make some homemade wine with whatever fruit, and then also put some cabbage in there. No, we don't want tomatoes. We don't want it that acidic.
All right,
even though tomato is a good fruit.
If you guys, how long would that take you? How about we do a raffle, right? A giveaway, right? You gotta sign up to be a Patreon member, and then we'll draw a name, and whoever wins gets a bottle of Paul's famous Bass and Brews toilet wine. I think it's highly illegal for you to ship that over state lines, but that's fine. It's not a big deal.
As long as they don't know that you're shipping it.
That's true. Amanda told me this story today that they were loading up mail, and all of a sudden they started hearing fucking roosters. And normally they get like a box that says like live animals and all this shit. And no, it was just like your standard shipping box with 2 holes in it. And when they opened it up, there was fucking 2 goddamn roosters in this box. Shipped from Texas to New Jersey. So I don't know how long these fuckers had been in there. So the way she describes it is she thought she was doing a good thing. She pulls out her little knife and she's like going to rescue these roosters. But she didn't realize that these roosters had been in a box from Texas to New Jersey. They were getting the fuck out of there. So they instantly flew out of the fucking box, and they're still in the rafters of this Postal Service fucking warehouse. There's just 2 fucking roosters living there now. So good try, Amanda. But everybody's going to hate you because those roosters are going to keep fucking clucking and roosting. So
somebody is pissed off that they did not get their roosters delivered.
Those were probably some kind of like $1,000 roosters that were coming to make these like triple yolk eggs in their farm.
These were fighting
$1,000 roosters by the Postal Service. Like
these were definitely fighting roosters. They've actually caught a ring like 2 miles from my house, which I was like, how the fuck are we in bumfuck South Jersey and there's a cockfighting ring? But they busted one, but they do it the wrong way. So I have either of you been to DR before?
Mm-mm.
Dominican Republic? No.
Correct. So cockfighting is legal there, right? It's a sport. And they do it different instead of like the illegal cockfighting we see. I'm not condoning any of this, to be clear. Oh shit, we're gonna get fully canceled for this. Like Bass and Bruce supports cockfighting. But like here they put like spurs, sharp shit on their talons, right? When we saw it in DR, everything was capped. Like all their claws were capped. So they couldn't like scratch the shit out of each other, and then they would call the fight to make sure that no rooster died, right? But it was a big deal, and there was a ring. We stayed for my honeymoon. I went there, and right outside the resort we were at, there was like a fucking stadium. This looked like a little league stadium, like Drew. Just so you know, little league like everywhere else in the country, not in Texas where it's like the same size as the San Diego Padres fucking stadium, but.
That's football.
It was
baseball.
But we went and saw it, and it was a good time. It was kind of again, I felt bad, but no chicken died. I don't think we should have it in the United States. But just a fun fact, they do cap all their claws with these like rubber things. It's interesting. Yeah, we're done now. We're canceled. This is the one that's going to cancel us, is where I was like, it wasn't that bad to watch. The announcers were great. They gave stats on the scoreboard. They showed like previous matches, like highlights. It was a whole production. It was great, very great.
I wish I could find this picture, but it was like 10 years ago. But I still have it in my phone. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys, and you can post it on your social medias. But there was, I think that it may have came from Conroe. Like those roosters may have come from Conroe, because there was, how they do the little murals on the back of truck windows and everything like that. I am not shitting you. I will send you the picture.
Like the wolf murals, howling at the fucking moon and shit.
Exactly. There was one, and I had to take a picture of it. I still have it somewhere on my phone. But it was a fighting rooster on one side, a fighting rooster on the other side, and Jesus praying in the middle of both of the fighting roosters. And so I think that is where those New Jersey roosters came from Texas.
Could have been.
They had to be from Conroe.
Listen, if you find that picture, send it to me, because I will make it the thumbnail of this fucking episode.
Look, it is the greatest thing ever. And it's a red Ford truck. It's always a red Ford truck, and it always has the fake little vents going all the way down the side that you get from AutoZone every single time.
Again, I'm not condoning it.
And schools over there on the wheels.
Schools on the wheels?
Skulls.
Oh, skulls on the wheels.
Skulls on the wheels.
Yeah, it definitely said
the little chromey caps with skulls.
Oh man! Hey,
they got the fake plastic chrome spinners.
My first car was a Saturn Ion, and as soon as I bought it, I went to my local auto parts store, and I bought all the little chrome skull things I could get for like my tires and the gear shift. Like everything to make a Saturn Ion look more metal and punk rock. It was a complete failure. I just look like an idiot, but it happens,
And that is where the skulls of Bass and Brews was birthed.
Came from, yeah.
Alex's
I've always liked skulls,
Saturn Ion.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace. I don't know who has that one, but when the repo guy took it from me, because I only made one payment on it and then went to the East Coast and thought I would never have to pay a car, I thought it was the best financial move ever. Like, they're not going to find me. Fun tip, they do. But shout out to whoever has that car. I don't think that thing's still running, but I know that I put one payment on it, and then I paid for that thing for 10 years. So,
Paul, what was your first vehicle?
A Mazda B2000 1986 pickup truck, silver.
Mazda
Standard.
That's a lot of work.
Standard. What the fuck? It was a stick shift.
A stick shift.
Yeah, stick shift or automatic. Mine was automatic. Just to be clear, that's what makes it worse. Is I put that little skull thing on top of an automatic shifter, like it wasn't even like manual. Yeah.
Look, what was yours, my
Drew?
first truck. Oh, well, hold on. My first truck was the Mazda B2000 pickup truck, silver, 1986, and I put mud tires on there, but I couldn't afford the real mud tires, so they were a hybrid mud tire snow tire, and this bitch was 2-wheel drive. I wanted it to be 4-wheel drive so bad, and I would try to take this shit and get stuck all the fucking time. People would have to yank me out. But let me tell you something about those tires. Mud tires are loud. The tire whine, wah, 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 wah. These some bitches, you would have thought I was coming through there in a F-250 with some like 35s on it. and this bitch was a little Mazda beach. It was wah wah wah. And then
hey guys,
I got the bright eye.
I've got wine. Do you want some homemade wine?
Yeah. Well, hey, I had that my first 2 years of college. That was my first year and a half was that truck. And I would bring up gallons of homemade wine from McBee, South Carolina, my freshman year.
Blackberry wine.
We've talked about what blackberry. It was grape wine. Scuppernong. No, it's not. Completely two fucking different motherfucking fruits. Anyway, I would bring that up, and our freshman year, we would have McBee wine parties. I think we talked about this before, but it was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time on the Mazda truck.
What was your first car?
78 F100 Ranger, but back then that was a full size. It was like before the F150, and it was baby blue, white, and rust. It was 3 colors. That sucker, and it wasn't really like. It was mine and my dad's, but he didn't care if I drove it type of thing. Like it was both of ours. And I used to scare the hell out of people because there would be going to the beach. There's the little plastic pylons that stick up that let you know, hey, you're going off the road. Don't go there. And people didn't know, like, they're not solid. Like you can just hit them and they'll flop over. They're made out of a soft PVC. And in that truck, dude, woo, you could hit every one of them. So I would intentionally act like I was falling asleep and go over there and hit them, and people would be like,
"What a fucking degenerate!"
That truck was awesome. I wish I could find another truck like that. Like I want one. I don't know why. I just like the way when you shut the door, like it makes a loud metal sound clack. Or something.
Yeah. Like, the metal clack, those old school. Yeah. Hey, so how long did it take for Chris to ruin it?
Oh, he didn't get to drive it. It had like 3 pounds of JB Weld on the radiator. And one day those 3 pounds came off and everything just went everywhere. And then I think my dad ended up selling it after that. And then I got a Honda Accord, but I don't remember what year it was. But it was a crappy little red.
It was probably a 1933 because those Hondas last fucking forever. Like they just won't die.
I want to say it was early 90s, maybe like a 92 Honda Accord or something like that.
Look, those bitches are still on the road. They got like a million miles on them. Mm-hmm. Those early 90 Hondas are my wife's car. I think it was a Accord. It was like a 92 or 93 or 91 Honda. And she had that for, golly, until 2008. She drove that thing for a while. And we had it, and it was, I mean, look, my wife's a good driver, but she would hit a curb like a motherfucker, and it was those steel rims.
Yeah.
And it would bust the tire, and we'd take it and just beat out the damn bend on the wheel and go. But man, she had that thing. I'll tell you what, those are good ones. Those are good little cars.
I've never been
good if you're a 20-year-old. If you're a 20-year-old guy,
beat 'em up.
There is no woman in the history of women that have been like, you know what? Woo! Look at that 4-door Honda Accord. That dude has got it going on. Look, that is who I'm going home with.
That's front wheel drive. You can go anywhere a 4-wheel drive truck can go in a front wheel drive car.
I want all the ladies out there, which somehow we have quite a few lady listeners. Send us your responses on bassandbrews@gmail.com. If you, if a four-door Honda Accord in the
early
late
90s.
Early 90s is something that you would maybe, snuggle up to. I'd love to hear some responses on that.
Anybody that's on Tinder or any of these dating apps, you need to go buy your early 90s Honda Accord 4-door sedan, and that is your profile picture. And that's your profile picture.
To get 50-year-olds. I've never been a car guy. I've never been a car guy. Every car is like a tool to get me there or back, right? Hence why I've had like a Saturn.
And now you have a Subaru.
I have a Subaru because I have the kids. I wanted more room. I wanted the kayak, right? But the best purchase that was like a frivolous car purchase, and I think I've talked about it on this show before, but it was when we bought the van in Pascagoula, Mississippi. There was like 5 of us. We were going to be there for 9 months waiting for the ship to be built.
You've already told the story 2 weeks in a row.
Was it two? I didn't say it last week. The week before. Anyways.
It wasn't last week because I listened to that episode. Keep going.
Anyways, we bought this piece of shit white van. There's 5 of us. We bought it for like a couple $1,000s. The first thing we did was go to Walmart and buy spray paint. And we spray painted free candy on the side of this white van. And on the back just wrote rape van. And we would spray paint. Yep. We would spray paint this thing. We ripped out all the back seats and then found old dirty couches on the side of the road in Mississippi and just loaded them into the back so people could like lay out, hang out. We went to Mobile with it. And we found these dudes skateboarding and they asked if they could skate the van. And we're like, absolutely. So they waxed up the front of it and skated the hood of the van. We beat the shit out of this thing. And then when it we had to leave. And we didn't know if we were going to be able to sell this, so we did the only proper thing. We just drove it off the base and left all the paperwork in it and the keys, and then went on base. We just left that bitch there, and I've never heard from it. I don't know if somebody stole it.
See, the last time he told this story, they had dirty bean bags in the back, not couches.
There was dirty bean bags, too. No, one side had couches, a love seat, and the other side had dirty bean bags. The bean bags we had to throw out after a couple weeks because people pissed at them. When they fell asleep back there drunk, because we would drive to Mobile, New Orleans. We drove all over the place in this piece of shit. It was, that's, I think, the best car purchase ever. But
so I take it back. Maybe I was doing all right in my 4-door Honda.
I think so.
Compared to the pissy bean bag candy van.
Drew, so we talked about your first car. What was your first smoker?
Actually, the way I
just saw his eyes light up.
So, because it's a
first
kind of
answer
story.
the fucking question before you get into the story.
It was the smoker I've had until last year. I had it for like 13 years. And it was a hand built TNT smoker. It was the only smoker I ever had until I got this new one. But I was 24. And I had a garage apartment on the same property that had an RV park. And it's like I think there was like 100 acres on the property or 50 acres or something. Big, huge house, really nice house, and a little bitty shitty garage apartment that was like 500 square foot. But my rent was only $500, and they had there was a pond where you could catch bass and everything over there at the RV park, and I could walk and I could catch bass, everything else. So anyway, so one day the owner, who obviously lives in the house adjacent to the RV park, was like, hey, we're having a little 4th of July party, actually. He's like, I got a smoker. Do you mind cooking, barbecuing some burgers for me and stuff like that? And I will, you can just, whatever's left over, you can take home, or I'll pay you $20 or buy you some beer or something like that. Anywho, so I was like, sure, yeah, I'll come cook. I'll come help out with a little barbecue or whatever. Well, I went and I cooked and everything else, and I helped out. And I was like, hey, I'm going to take this back to the house, the little barbecue pit. He's like, let's, I'll help you take it back there. We got to get cleaned up because I had cheese everywhere. Like cheese was all on the grate. There was cheese everywhere because everybody wanted cheese on their dang burger. So we took it back by my apartment, and I was cleaning it and got it all cleaned up. Well, hell, a week later, there's some 80-year-old lady knocking on my door of my apartment. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, can I help you? She's like, oh, my name's Cynthia. I'm the new owner of the RV park and the house, and you're my new tenant. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I wasn't told about that. I guess, is my rent going up? That's the only thing I ever had to ask. Was like,
she was like,
that's fine.
She's like, no, all you got to do is come down here and show me how a hot dog goes in a bun, and your rent's going to stay the same, baby.
Anywho, so I wasn't worried about that. But so it was probably, I don't know, this was July, a couple weeks in July. Well, I can't remember which one comes first. Labor Day. Is Labor Day in September?
Yeah.
So
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
I don't know. It's one of them fucking
Memorial
days.
Day is first. Memorial Day's first.
Okay, so Memorial Day came around, and she's like, hey, we're having a party at the RV park. last time some of the people were talking about how good your cheeseburgers are. I see you got your grill back here. Do you think you could cook them for us? And I was like, sure, I'll cook them. Well, so I cooked on the little barbecue pit and everything, and we did all that. Well, it probably was, I don't know. I did this like 3 or 4 times, and she kept calling it my barbecue pit because she didn't know.
It's yours.
She didn't know. Like, she thought it was mine because she had bought the place and it was back there at my house or my apartment. And anyway, so finally, like I was about to get married, I was about to leave, and I had to tell her. I was like, "Hey, this ain't mine," because it's a nice barbecue pit. It's like a 42-inch by 22-inch diameter cooking surface. It's got a 2x2 firebox. I mean, I still have it on the side of the house. It's all a 1/4-inch steel firebox all the way
Nice
around.
cooker.
I mean, it's nice. It had already been there for 10 years at the other place, and it was still like just getting worn in. So I had to tell her, I was like, "Hey, this ain't really mine. Like, it was y'all's when y'all bought the place. It was the old owners." And she goes, "Well, hell, don't nobody know how to cook on it but you. Just take it as my wedding gift to you." And I was like, "Oh, ain't that nice? That's the nicest thing." I was like, I'm going to start telling the truth from now on. I mean, I was high as a kite whenever I was talking to her about it. But so that was my first smoker. I still have it over by the house, but the firebox, after 14 years, 13 years of having it, the firebox finally has rusted out. So I need to get it on there now. And I think now I have an Oklahoma Joe. Just got me an Oklahoma Joe last year for Father's Day because I hadn't smoked anything in about a year. And she was like, we can't have that. Like, we're gonna get you a new smoker. Something's got to happen because she likes the briskets and stuff like that.
Are you gonna cook your brisket like I cook mine tomorrow?
I'm gonna cut it up and put it in a pan half full of water and throw it in there.
You gotta slice your brisket up into, you get whatever slices you want your brisket to be. You gotta slice them into those slices. Then you gotta boil it for a couple hours.
Oh.
And then all you do is you put it on the grill for a few minutes and serve it. It's delicious.
No, don't do that ever at all. People overthink brisket though. Like, brisket is not that hard to cook. Just season it well, cook it till it gets to 165, wrap it up, cook it till it gets to 205, let it rest for an hour or two before you slice it, and be done. Don't inject it with a bunch of crap. Like, just put some good seasoning on it.
Salt and pepper.
Don't do a whole bunch of extra. I use the Salt Lick garlic, and it's salt, pepper, garlic, and paprika is basically all that's in it. And you just put a whole bunch on there and just cook it. Like, don't inject it, don't soak it. Like, brisket's supposed to taste like brisket. It's not supposed to taste like freaking brown sugar and honey and whatever else you want to throw on.
Hey, before we go too far, I did find I shot a text real quick out to Jess. Let me know if you guys can hear this, because this is how he paid for his bills, which is it's nuts. Oh, why is it not working? Damn it. Hold on.
Damn it. Good job, Alex.
I know I messed it up. Hold on, I got it. All right.
Can't hear it. Can't hear it.
Nothing.
Can't hear it.
Damn. Well, I failed at that. It was just
good job, Alex.
Yeah, it was that scene from, I really pulled that one up. It was that scene from Kingpin where she's, why don't you get down there and...
No, I
ruined it.
I
paid
my $500. That was cheap rent too. I mean, that was back in like 2005, 2006. $500. She wanted me to cook some burgers. I was down.
I'm trying to link everything together. So we talked about the next car was the Honda Accord 4-door, which you blatantly said gets no bitches. And then you went to, I'm guessing, took the Accord to the apartment next to the RV park, which also is going to be tough to pull them. No, it wasn't.
2 trucks in between there.
Okay.
I had a extended cab S10 that was nice, but it was a manual, and that got repoed. And then I was 20. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was 20. I thought my Dad was still helping me out. Well, because I was in college, but I wasn't in college anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the agreement was always like, "Hey, if you're in school, I'll help.
Yeah,
pay
we'll
for
pay
your
for
car."
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wasn't in school, and I went home, and I woke up to the repo man dragging my stuff away from my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I got a white single cab S10. And I drove that thing literally until the master cylinder went completely out on the brakes. And by the time that was all done, I had a good enough job. And um, my ex-wife she wasn't my ex-wife at the time, but my wife at the time's dad worked for a dealership. So then that's when I got my first F-150. I got a nice car after that.
I just that ruined all of the pageantry of you pulling up what I figure to be a half afro in your 4-door Honda Accord at the trailer park. You ruined that whole imagery for me.
Oh, dude, no, there's no afro at all. I haven't, if you're talking about my hair, I haven't had hair since 28 is when I started shaving all my hair off. Like it's been a long time.
Do you have hair on your back?
No, not at all.
Oh, good for you. That's the worst. I feel bad for the dudes that are super bald, but then like it's not even just the back, it's the shoulder hair. And I just because you can't, there's no way to fix that. You're just a hairy motherfucker, but not in the right spots. And those are the folks. And I know that's most our listeners. So we love you guys. We feel bad for your bad genetics. Hopefully it gets better in the next life.
I'm still looking for this Rooster Jesus picture, by the way. If you guys see me looking around, like I've got to go way back, like 13 years in Facebook.
Hey, this is what you got to do with the pictures like that. The ones that you really love,
you favorite them,
of course. Well, on the iPhone, you favorite them on the iPhone. But Alex, remember, this asshole has a Droid, so every time we text, we got green text messages, and we can't. It's just, this is why he can't find the picture, is because Android suck and his pictures are probably not in chronological order because Android's a stupid platform.
This is 13, 14 years ago, you sheeple. Like, it's been a long time since I can pull up picture.
I can literally pull up every single photo I've taken on my phone. Anyways, if this is not
but
now,
you can't take a good one because you have an iPhone. So
I can.
That. You can take a picture like a potato.
This is the most old man conversation. It's 2 40 and up people arguing about whose phone takes the best pictures. This is how Bass and Bruce secures.
And neither one of y'all know how to frame a picture for shit.
You cannot use my C charger ever. Any iPhone person ever again.
No, iPhones moved to the C charger.
I'm aware because it is the supreme of the chargers.
100%.
What phone does Jess have?
She has an iPhone.
Exactly. What phone do your kids have?
They actually have Androids. So Wesley's got Samsung.
It's because they're cheaper.
Samsung. And I have the Pixel.
Yeah, it's because they're cheaper pieces of shit. She's got the actual quality phone.
Poor Jess has to live her whole entire life with her family with green text boxes. I feel for her.
Because green text boxes are the worst thing in the world to ever happen. Like, iPhone has everyone so brainwashed that a color of a text message is the difference between peasant and non-peasant.
Well, yeah, but you can't do. Well, it is true, but you can't do like stickers. I'm going to send you a shout out to Wolf.
I don't need a sticker. I'm a 40-year-old man.
No, they're great. I'm going to send you a sticker and see if you can see it. But shout out to Dave Wolf of Walmart for showing me that you can do stickers because we've got some really good Bass and Brews stickers for iPhone.
You just learned how to do stickers?
I did.
If
hey,
you screw up my search,
Drew, did you get that?
I'm back to 2012 in my Facebook. Please do not screw up my search.
He's got TikTok thumb because he's been scrolling trying to find this picture for the last 45 minutes.
I got your sticker. I'm
able
to receive a sticker.
Oh shit. All right. Well, all right. While we're on the subject of old man conversations, Drew was adamant. Here's why he wanted to be on the show, and it's because he says that QT is way better than Buc-ee's.
That is not what I said at all. That is what the Jabberhammer said. And I want to hear your explanation on why you think QT is better than Buc.
All right. First of all,
but there has not been any explanation.
All right. First of all, QT, when you go to check out at QT, is fast. When you go to check out at Buc-ee's, is fast. They're both really good gas stations when it comes to checking out. I will say this about Buc-ee's. Their barbecue is so laden with fake smoke, liquid smoke. Their barbecue is overrated to no end. It is just it's too salty, it's too smoky. It's not the deal. You can't get that shit at QT. But
you can't get barbecue at QT.
Exactly. And
Nor
so
should you
we're
get
not
any
we're
of
not
that from a fucking gas station.
First of all, we're not comparing apples to apples. We're comparing apples to onions. QT,
Cabbage.
Both of them have good checkout. That's the main thing about it that I love. QT's pizzas are delicious though, and they have weenie rollers. Yes, send that to us.
Oh my God.
You got to send that. Send it before you lose it again.
Send it now.
Anyway,
send it now.
I did a screenshot.
Okay. All right.
So the barbecue is liquid smoke. Okay.
Look, Buc-ee's is fun to go to. It's a destination. It's like a Tractor Supply and a gas station made a baby. It's good. I will say this. I got jerky the last Buc-ee's I went to, and their jerky was delicious. I enjoyed their jerky.
What flavor did you get?
I can't remember, but I cannot remember. It's been like
it doesn't matter.
Ago.
Drew can't eat any of them.
Yeah.
No, I can't, and it sucks because their Bohemian garlic is the best.
I didn't get that. Look, if you just y'all go get it, get Jess to chew it up real good, and then you eat it. She don't have to spit it in your mouth.
He really wants this baby bird. He really wants the baby bird going on.
It's like an SNL episode.
We know what kind of subcategories.
Anyway, y'all, hey, let me finish my damn thoughts on the gas stations now.
When he goes on the website, he goes to Pornhub and he just searches baby bird, and he's like,
"How do you spell baby bird?"
And he's like, "Man, it's too many people just fucking. I just want to see somebody spit a brisket."
It is still gas station food. The gas station food is fine. Buc-ee's is overrated when it comes to their barbecue and their brisket and all that stuff. It's overrated. It's not. It's fine. It's good. It's a cool little destination to go to. You can get gas real easy. All this and that. I'll tell you the gas station that we have around here. We don't have QT here in the Raleigh area. We have Sheetz. And Sheetz has made to order food, MTO, and it's still gas station food, right? So it's still frozen burgers and, pre-fried chicken tenders and shit that they fry. But when you get it, it's hot, it's delicious. And if you're going to get gas station food, the biscuits, I don't get the biscuit. I get the either the croissant,
the biscuits, but I don't get
croissant. Or it's the breakfast foods. I get their croissant, but their English muffin, their schmuffin as they call them, their schmuffins are fucking delicious, and I love them, and they're delicious. And Sheetz is my gas station, even though the ones around here locally they never have windshield washer fluid in their little containers with the wands, and that shit pisses me off. But, I mean, look, it's still gas station food. But my whole thing is Buc-ee's is overrated. It's a fun little place to go to. But if you want to go get a barbecue sandwich because people talk good about it, if anybody says Buc-ee's barbecue sandwiches are good, they have no fucking idea what good barbecue is.
Paul, take a breath. Take a breath. That was a lot.
Breathe. All right, I will agree with you 100% that the barbecue is overrated at Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
If you, I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's not terrible. Like, it's better than it's better than 40%, 50% of some of the places that you can buy a barbecue sandwich.
True.
You're right on the liquid smoke. I don't love liquid smoke at all in any of my food, and you can kind of taste the liquid smoke. But the beef jerky bar puts it far. It puts it way ahead.
The boot.
Some of the actual Buc-ee's branded stuff, like their candied jalapenos, their pickles, jalapenos in vinegar, like that is really, really good stuff that you can only get at Buc-ee's there. Now, I don't know anything about a schmuffin or whatever the hell you call that thing.
Schmuffin.
I don't know anything about Sheets because I've never been to Sheets, but Buc-ee's gas, there's 1,000 pumps that you can get from there. But I do agree with you that the barbecue is overrated. So if you would have just said Buc-ee's barbecue is overrated, I would have been like, okay, cool. But if you're going to say Sheets is better than Buc-ee's because of their barbecue is overrated, then I would.
But again, it's like Sheets doesn't have barbecue. But I will say this, though. If you want to go have a really, really good doo-doo and you're traveling and you want to have a private stall and take a doo-doo in a clean stall.
Oh,
there ain't no gas station I've ever been to besides Buc-ee's where going and taking a stinky at a gas station is an experience, and it's a good experience.
Art on the way in, like you get
Both.
to look at art,
and you can buy it, and you can buy it. It's for sale. Look, you can actually sit your bare ass down on a Buc-ee's toilet seat and be okay. Like you don't have to hover and poop. And when you hover and poop.
Oh, I don't.
And when you hover, well, yeah,
fuck that.
I don't. Yeah. No, I don't know how. Well, Alex, how the hell do you even? How do you sit on any toilet and poop and not your ass sit it because your feet dangle? There's not a toilet in this world where Alex's feet don't dangle when he sits on it.
There's butt foam right there that you get the butt foam and you wipe it on the toilet seat and it's actually clean.
And it is a wall that separates you. You don't see your next door neighbor's feet.
You can't even hear the person beside you.
And you don't hear them splatter in the back of the toilet. And if they do, when you go in behind them, it's magically not splattered anymore. It's so weird. It's crazy.
It's got to be
Buc-ee's is the best place to go to the bathroom.
I like Buc-ee's. I've never been to any of these fucking places. I'm going to take Buc-ee's because it has a beaver as a mascot, and everybody knows that on Bass and Brews we love beaver. So
we love beaver.
Buc-ee's is the
and they have beaver nuggets. Like the beaver nuggets are.
Yeah, that shit's fucking overrated too. That's trash.
If it's a beaver nugget, is that just a dwarf lady?
No, it's like corn pops. It's fucking corn pops. Is all it is.
It's corn pops and caramel popcorn had an illegitimate child.
It's a corn pop that isn't a cereal.
I can't right
Alex
now.
Can't even talk.
I can't. I'm just imagining Bridget the midget going like, "Hey, have you seen my beaver nugget?" That's all I can think of at this point.
No, that's a beaver bean.
That's a myth. We all know that. We don't do, we don't do misinformation here. There's no such thing as the bean. That's not real.
Well, your wife is missing out.
Got real quiet. Well, I'm glad we covered. I mean, we have Wawa here. Wawa's whatever. I will say I've traveled cross country quite a bit. I've never been to any of these establishments. I have been to a Flying J, which I think is like north.
That's the place you go to. No. That's like where you go to get hepatitis.
If you want a shot afterwards. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. When you guys are like, oh man, it's an experience to go into. I just keep eating like the Flying J where they were like, you can rent a shower. And I was driving cross country, trying to do it as cheap as possible. So I was like, oh shit, let me rent this shower. Right. And I went in and there was 4 loaded condoms sitting at the bottom of the shower. And I was like, that's the worst $5 I've ever fucking spent.
Look, the Flying J is where you can go put $1 into a machine to get your weight told to you.
Yeah, no shit.
They still have those. But I will say this: the Flying J's and the Pilots are great places to get phone chargers. Yeah. And if you got CB radios, they're good little places to go get your CB radio accessories.
Hey, you'll need a bunch of phone chargers if you got an iPhone. So,
it's true. Fuck off. Anyways, it's not true. But also they have a almost like a wildlife component to these places, the pilots and the flying J's.
It's the lot lizards.
Yeah, it's the lot lizard. It's not a real animal. It's just a prostitute that hangs out at truck stops. But yeah, well, I was a young 18-year-old boy traveling with my Saturn Ion, as we talked about before, with all the skull accessories.
Was it red? Was it red?
No, dude, it wasn't even that cool. It was silver. It was fucking stupid, right? But
oh god.
And at this point, I had already crashed it. I had this car for like a week and a half, and I was going probably too fast through Montana. And it was super icy, and my chains broke, and I slipped over an embankment. And I wrecked the whole front of it. Like, had no fucking bumper. So I would just took the bumper and I put it in my back seat, and I would just drive around, and then I'd stop at these shitty like truck stops and rest stops, and then just take the bumper out of the back seat, put it in front where the bumper's supposed to go, and then sleep in the back seat. But a lot lizards. It was really weird. It was a very crazy experience as a young man making his way in the world.
Hey, look, that Ion, that got them lot lizards though. I think I may have been okay in the Accord at the Flying J. We may have been eating high off the hog over there at the Flying J.
Listen, your life would have had a whole different trajectory at that point if you had that Accord there. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm happy my life ended up the way that my life ended.
Yeah, it could have gone real bad.
Sorry, not ended.
Yeah, well, it could have gone real bad. Like, if at any point in time you're like, man, I'm having a fucking good time at a truck stop, you've either given up or you need to, or make a change, because there's something going on.
No offense to anybody that has a good time at the truck stop. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're having a good time at the truck stop, so be it. That's great.
No, I mean, that's 80% of our viewership. They know where they're at in life. There's none of those. There's none of those inspirational quotes of like, "You can do this, just grind, motherfucker." You can. No, we're not doing that. It's, hey, you woke up this morning. Good job. Try to do it again tomorrow. That's all. That's all we can ask for here. Would you quit kissing your dog?
What's kind of crazy is, I listen to y'all show a lot. There's not a lot of influencers / fishermen that you guys have on that have like typical 9-to-5s. Like both of you guys have kind of typical 9-to-5 jobs, but a lot of your guests don't. Like they don't have your typical. I go work 9 to 5. They are kind of nomadic and go do different things. Like your guy on the last episode with his fiber optics just decided, hey, I'm gonna go work in fiber optics for a month and then do something.
Trip
else.
had a weird job. You haven't listened to it yet because we record like a week early. But like Emma Calzone, she's in IT. She has a normal 9 to 5.
That's normal, yeah.
Yeah, but then also she was like, we found out, Paul, that she was like a Twitch streamer for video games too on the side, plus fishing. So she's like your quintessential elder Gen Z into millennial, where like she's got like 9 side hustles, right? Which is cool. But we do have a lot of military, but like a dude who's just like, I'm a truck driver. We don't have a lot of that.
No, not a lot of typical stuff. Typical 9-to-5ers.
What would be a typical what would be a typical 9 to 5 to you? Because Drew, you've got a fucking fancy job. You've got like a fancy white collar to the clearest job. So
yeah, he's
a supervisor.
Yeah.
Like I'm more than a dang supervisor now.
Yeah.
I can't look, my job is so white collar now that I won't post this on my social media. Like I won't say, hey guys, check out this episode where we're talking about strippers and midgets and everything else. And I'm talking about how I'm with you, right? Like it's I won't do that anymore.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, does military count? Because we do have a lot of military guys.
Military's, but
not really.
I'm talking about like as your guests, like most of the guests that are
that's got me
doing
thinking.
Social media and everything, like they jump around, and I don't want to say 9 to 5 like regular jobs. It just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot
They're
of
stable,
completely career oriented, stable I've been doing this for 25 years type
We
of
had-
thing. Whenever you're talking to
It's
the
gig.
influencers.
It's the gig economy. Over the last 10
there is
years, the
that.
gig economy has really
There is, but also I
changed
will
the
say
workforce.
Basson Buskey, right? Eduardo, he's a postal carrier in Maryland, so he was one. Fish Mama Chris does dialysis as a nurse, so that's a kind of a gig.
That's a normal one.
Dora had a real job.
Yeah,
we didn't know exactly what it was, but
we can't figure that out still. And Dora's great, and Dimitri is great too. Also, shout out to you guys, both you guys, because you have a huge social kind of realm, right? And before the show, I happened to catch Dora on TikTok Live randomly talking about how she was on this random podcast. It's these two dudes, these two bearded dudes, which I thought was really cool because, if you're an OG of the show, I was super clean
Dimitri
shaven.
has the best beard
Lego
has
beard.
ever been on this podcast.
Dimitri has the Lego beard. It's fully sculpted. He pulls it off at night. But it was a great episode. But she shouted us out. Thanks for that. But we also, but you're right. We do get a lot of wayward souls, I feel and that's just kind of
the majority of our, not the majority, but a handful of our people are kayak anglers. And especially the ones that fish.
They're weird.
Yeah, they're super weird. They're all into like punk rock and skateboard and fucking weirdos like Adam Reiser. Yeah. These guys that are these kayak anglers, they live a nomadic life where they're going from place to place. They're camping, they're staying in other people's houses. A lot of them now are getting Airbnbs together, but they live this nomadic life. But anybody that's doing fishing as a side hustle or their main hustle, you can't have no damn regular job typically. Some do, probably a lot of them do, but regardless, it doesn't matter. But when you're doing all this traveling, you have to have that flexibility to be able to go to these, albeit saltwater or whatever, or if they're not even tournament fishing, they're just in the outdoors or fishing realm, and they're creating content, and they're just traveling all over because they're doing meetups with other anglers and other people and collabing and doing all this stuff. And you get these nomadic type of lifestyles. And we talked about, Alex, I don't remember if you were on the show with Adam when we talked about this. I think you might have been.
Nope. Adam Reiser I missed because I would have loved to have been on that one. He's right up my alley. Instead, I get a dude that simps for jerky instead.
But with Adam, that's one of the things, I believe is an episode again. I might be mixing shit up because we've done so many now. But I believe on that one we talked about how a lot of your touring kayak anglers, their past life of being in bands and touring as in bands, even if it was just a small local regional, about just the essence of it was about being on the road and how to travel and eat and sleep and plan your days, about being on the road like that, how that's a skill and art to be able to do that and not just get burnt out after a month or two of it when you're doing it for 6 months, 8 months out of the year.
It's hard, man. Like that's one reason why I quit doing my own podcast and doing the show and stuff, is just life, family, work, like being responsible for so much at work and having that responsibility for the kids and everything.
But you started coaching your kids in baseball, which when you and I talked, you said that was your first love, was baseball behind your family. And so when you got the opportunity to be a part of your kids' lives coaching,
perfect.
You went all in on that shit, and that was you wanted to be a coach. You played baseball, you played college baseball, that is your love. Fuck fishing. That shit's stupid anyway.
No, fishing's
just
fine.
kidding.
Fishing's a good outlet for everything. But I helped out with fall ball baseball, and because the coach, like, for people who know about baseball, so from like 6 to 7s, usually T-ball, or 5 to 7s T-ball, and then 7 to 8 is usually coach pitch or pitching machine or something like that. And then once you get to 9-year-olds, that's when they start pitching. That's when you can really screw up a kid is once you get to kids pitching and everything else. So CJ, our youngest one, is a very good athlete. And when I say very good athlete, he's like Montgomery Little League, may have, 500 kids or something like that. I think we had 12 teams this year for his age group. He is one, two, or three best kid in the whole league for his age group. Like he is that good. And I'm like,
gifted.
I cannot let this guy get screwed up by somebody who, they haven't played baseball since they were 12 years old. Like I can't have that dude teaching him, how to throw, how to pitch, how to do everything else. So I helped out in the fall, and then kids from other teams and kids that were on our team were like, "Hey, Coach Drew, are you going to coach next year? Because we want to be on your team. Like, can you do this?" And then I was like,
cool.
"Yeah, I got to coach. Got to coach. Got to do it." And then between the job promotion and coaching baseball, it was like something's got to give, and the fishing and the podcast, like that's what had to give, because in between being there for the kids in my actual community, like I know how, we are a big fishing community. Like I wouldn't know you guys without kayak fishing and everything else. But there's a difference between when I go out to eat and when I go to the store, or when I go up to the kids' school and I see other kids from the league and they're happy to see me because I was their baseball coach and everything else. There's a difference in that community and like being a part of the social media fishing community.
Yeah, 100%.
And everything else had to take a backseat.
Well, the social media community is typically not your local community.
Who fucked that up? Was that you, Drew?
That was me. Sorry
all right.
about that. I went to grab my drink and I hit
non-podcaster anymore. He fucking has a soundboard, but it's
look,
just
that's the first
shit.
time he's played that soundboard all night, and used to he was the soundboard.
I know.
Czar.
Just calm down.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. The horn. Hey, this is the thing about podcasting too, and is podcasting is fun. Is fairly easy, at least how Alex and I do it, because we don't edit shit.
No,
and
it's
we got
for you because you don't do shit other than come on to talk.
Look, motherfucker, I ran this podcast by myself for a year, literally by my lonesome. But the podcasting side of it,
fuck off. You sound like my wife now.
Well, you still haven't been doing everything. Anyway, the podcasting part is fun. We've talked to a lot of people that have social media accounts who say you could do a podcast, this and that. But look, podcasting is fun. It is easy in a sense, but it's also not easy. Alex and I, we have a guest on every episode. We have to reach out to these people and get them scheduled and do all that. And then we have to have stuff set up. And then you have somebody having internet issues, or we're having internet issues, and all this and that shit. Like, it is easy in a sense. You're not sitting down and editing 8 hours of fishing content down into 20 or 30 minutes. But it is still a lot of work to put this shit together, and then to get everybody here. There's typically always 3 of us. It's not... There's a lot of work involved in it, and when you're doing it by yourself, that work is exponential. It is 100%. Exponential. Alex started the podcast by himself. I had a few months, and then I had 8 or 9 months where it was just me, and we joke about this shit, but it's for real. There were some days, because I have my own business, I'm my own employee, like a lot of shit going on. I got kids. I'm trying to do this and that. And so I was trying to get a guest co-host scheduled with a guest. Majority of the guests we've never even talked to. We're just reaching out. When you start doing that stuff by yourself, it's a lot of fucking work when you're by yourself. So Alex and I now, he's been back. We got a little system going down. He gets guests. I get guests. Alex does pretty much all the social media. But we still can share duties and shit when it comes down to it. But when you're trying to do a fucking podcast every single week,
it's a lot.
It is a lot. And the most fun part about doing the podcast is this right here is sitting on the screen.
This is
the only part. This is what makes it all worth it, right?
Yeah.
But
other
then again,
bullshit.
to go off jabber, so I totally get it, right? And hence why we've changed the podcast. We don't just talk about fishing anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what, if we just talked about tournament fishing and that was it, we'd be done and we'd be burned out. And I don't think it would be as enjoyable for you folks. I don't think I fucking would not be enjoyable for me or Paul, right?
Well, I like to talk fishing
every once in a while, right? But then we also
I
like
could
to
talk
have
fishing until my fucking balls turned blue and fell off.
He says that, but then he's like afterwards, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired."
But no,
blah, blah,
I
blah,
do
blah,
like
blah.
this. But
like,
no, if we were just going through and just talking tournament fishing all the time, yeah, it would get
full of shit.
It would I like the bullshittery.
You know when I know that you're like done with the fishing talk. Because you'll say, back when I was a wildland firefighter. That's when I'm like, okay, Jab Rapper's done.
It's fire season and the west is dry, the southeast is dry, and I got all my wildland firefighter people and some folks that don't know me, but I know them through social media, and I get to see all their firefighting stuff coming up, and it makes me miss it.
Oh,
but then again, it doesn't make me miss it. But y'all make sure if you're in an area that has wildfires, if you see some of your wildland firefighter people around there, make sure you thank them, because the shit that they're doing, they ain't doing it for a lot of fucking money, and the shit that they got to go through is rough.
But let's circle this all back. Like again, we love. Shut the fuck up.
We gonna let it shine. Everybody, get your little light. This little light of
I'm gonna light fires in my local forest if you keep going. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start wildfires.
Every about 25 to 30 years, the pine barrens get a good fire, and they hadn't had a really, really good one since about 2007, I believe. So y'all are
no. We had a real good one 3 years ago. It like blanked it out. It was gnarly, but I could totally see Drew. I want to go back to that. Like I could totally see real life absolutely takes priority when it comes to any of this, right? And you got such a cool opportunity to exactly what you said, to like be a part of the foundation of not only your own kids playing sports and building that passion, because you've done that before as a parent, but to help to do that to somebody else. And I'm going to tell you what, that is way more important than being on silly podcasts. That is fucking cool as shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I gave 4 years to the fishing community. Like you can go back. The episodes are still. I'm still paying for the host. So if you want to go back and listen to the old Paddler's Playbook episodes that are on there, I haven't done one since like November of last year. I might throw one up here or there, but if you want to go check it out, go check it out. But just helping out in the community and being around more for the the kids and the different parents and stuff like that. Like it's just a different thing. And like I said before, I turned 40 this year, went through different changes in my mind about stuff, like just quit being, I don't want to say selfish, because I don't think I was being extremely selfish, but I not as worried about what I want to do and the things that I want to do until it was worrying about things that I want to do, which sounds all convoluted. But
fishing,
no.
Fishing is
100%.
Fishing is selfish, and if you're tournament fishing, which you were doing your tournament fishing on the saltwater side, but regardless, tournament fishing is super selfish. I had a tournament last week that I went and fished for a few hours on Friday morning. And then I was gone Saturday from like 4:30 in the morning till about 4:30 that afternoon. And I'm out fishing, having a good time. It was hot as hell. I was wore out and shit, but I'm out fishing. I'm not home taking the dogs out like my wife is and dealing with the kids and doing all that stuff. Fishing, hunting, outdoor activities that you have to do by yourself, like tournament fishing, for instance. I can't take my son on the kayak tournament fishing. That shit is selfish. There's a big selfish part of that. Now, also your significant other you balance it, but also your significant other understanding that that's a release for you, that's enjoyment, and we having those things. But in general, if you're going to be gone, and if you're fishing national tournaments where you're gone 4 or 5 days and you have a family, it takes a damn special partner at the house to be able to run everything. So to say that you're being less selfish, I fully agree with that. Because when you go fishing, you're gone by yourself. The kids, you ain't listen to the kids fight. You ain't the one telling your 10-year-old son, no, you need to take an hour off.
By that car, dipshit.
Exactly.
Right? Like, right?
Yeah. Like, no, you have to have an hour off of screens, and then we got a fit being pitched and shit. I'm out there fishing.
Sometimes, again, I did the most recent shower beers episode, right? And it was specifically because of this. Like, sometimes we take this shit too seriously, this fishing thing, and sometimes it absolutely. And again, if you guys would like to see that, head over to our YouTube channel. It's on videos. It's been out at this time of recording for like 2 weeks.
Real quick. You got to fix my YouTube live. You got to fix my YouTube live.
I don't care. Give a shit. Let me finish.
You
and I don't want to discourage people, but we do get folks on here, and I think folks that we interact with all the time where we take this way too seriously, where we're like, this is how I'm going to break out of not having a 9-to-5. So I need to grind as hard as possible to do tournaments. And that means losing touch with your family and all this other stuff. That's not worth it. We all got into this for whatever reason, right? But for most of it, it was to chill the fuck out and catch some fish and feel the rod bend. And I think we need more of that.
Me.
So
I know. Me. Fuck that.
You
I don't
did.
give a
you
fuck
started that
about
when you
being
were
out in nature.
You started that when you were a kid.
About the rod being. I won't. It's my competition aspect of it. Yeah. Hey, you need to fix my YouTube. It said I don't have permission.
We'll talk about it later.
I had 20,000 likes, and then I had like 15 or 10,000 likes.
Anyways,
motherfucker did not. Hold on, real quick.
Oh my god!
I have started going live on my fishing, y'all,
and it's been fantastic.
For the folks that listened to it last Friday, I was fishing, and I should have been gone 30 minutes before I left, but I was still out there because I was having a good time. We had quite a few people on. Blah blah blah. Good. I threw a $450 combo out of my hand.
I heard about that,
and it sunk. And it sunk on a live. And then Saturday, I went and I found it.
Oh, so you're fine.
Yeah. And I won $78 for Power Hour 7 of Big Bass.
Wow,
6-pounder.
Very exciting. He's Jabber's really killing it with the stories today.
Yep, it's a great story. It was actually better on live because you saw the rod go out of my hand, and because it was to the left of me. And then you saw me watch it.
I wish I wasn't live right now. I wish I could fast forward through this conversation.
Oh, well, that's easy. Here. Yeah. Oh, I can't boot you, but here you go. Look, muted, little short bitch.
The wheels are falling off.
Hey, Drew.
The wheel. I think from our conversation about 5 minutes ago about everything, we just gave half your listeners a complex because they're like, "What am I supposed to do with my life if I'm not a fisherman? Like, what is supposed to happen?
Is real.
What am I supposed to do? Like, but they need to think about stuff like that where you're talking about being selfish and a lot of men, especially. And Jabberhaver's leaving right now, which that makes sense. A lot of men don't talk about their feelings and how they feel about stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like it really is, fishing is great. It's awesome to get away every once in a while. But if you're doing it because you feel like you have something to prove and you have a family at home and you got kids and a wife and everything else, and you don't feel like you're doing enough and you feel like fishing is going to vindicate you as a man and stuff, you may want to look at the rest of your life and your other priorities and other things that you can do, because it ain't it. Like it's great. It's a fun hobby. It's fun to go do tournaments and things like that. But if you look at the people who consistently win these tournaments and consistently are on the trails and are consistently killing it, you're looking at a lot of single men and ladies that either are shacked up with one another, or, they're kind of nomadic, or they don't have, the families and kids at home and different things like that. Like you may want to just look at that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against tournament fishing. I love tournament fishing. I love it, but don't Like, I used to get done with the tournament and I'm like, man, I'm a failure as a person because I did not win this tournament. Like, and then I grew up and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, it has nothing to do with this between, these 14 guys that I actually know their names that are at this weigh-in. There may be 50 people there, but heck, I only know like 10 of them really. I only know 5 of them, what their kids' names are or anything about them like that. Like, I don't need to vindicate myself to these type. Not
No,
these
you're
type of
absolutely
people, but
right.
to these people at all.
Yeah. Welcome to Bass and Brews, your weekly distraction from quality podcast content, where you come to get life lessons on how sorry you are if you tournament fish.
No,
hey,
he's.
Look, if they made it
it's
an
not
hour
just
and
that.
54 minutes into this episode,
yeah, no shit.
Like, they need to hear this. They
do.
Everything that we said before. Like, hey. Like,
if you're still here, you need to reassess your life as a human being, as a parent, and as a person, because at this point in time, if you're still here, you are a degenerate peasant, and we love you on Bass and Brews.
But I want to be clear on that video. I want to be clear. If you go back to that video, I did not skimp out on content creators because those folks aren't better on it either. Just because you don't do tournaments, but your whole life revolves around what your next video is the next week, can be just as much as an addictive thing that is going to tear you away from the things that actually matter, which is the people around you and the folks you take care of. And on that note, I loved having Drew on because he is fantastic. I love this new Drew, this new 40 Drew, more bald,
skinny,
less
Drew.
Fat, and more vulgar.
Less Drew
it's fantastic. Yeah, it's great though.
No, I've always been this vulgar. I just haven't been a whole bottle of Flybird watermelon cucumber margarita into an episode.
That's what we need. We need more Flybird, I think.
But this is also really good because Alex isn't slurring his words either.
I'm not. No, it's been a great conversation. I hope everybody loved it. Check out Drew. He just said he's got Paddler's Playbook. It's probably never coming back. So check it out while you can until he deletes the services on it.
Hey, there's 4 years worth of episodes you guys can go back and listen to.
But contact us at bassandbrews@gmail.com if you want your kid to learn how to play baseball good in Texas, because we'll connect you.
Hey, William Shaw, love you.
All right, everybody. Have a great night, day. I don't give a fuck. Just remember, it's not that serious. Have a good one.